Hey everybody, Imuko. Don't believe I've seen you before, but welcome. Francois, Sakbir, Arturo. Um, sorry, I'm not even sure what name to say there. Schwinvorn? Um, yeah, I, I'm sorry. Butcher that up. That's not an East Tennessee name. Suckbeer, Kevin, Valerie, Lucero, Alan. Glad to have everybody. All right. Philip, Maurizio, Alan. Yeah, welcome. Nvidia earnings out. Nvidia, uh, right there. Nvidia, the power of GPUs. Generative AI creates all my thumbnails. If that's what you're asking. Um, I, funny enough, Midjourney runs on Google Tensor chips, not actually Nvidia. So this is actually produced on Google Tensor, even though it looks like a big monster with a GPU strapped to the side of it. So but Nvidia earnings are out. Are they going to take the market to new all-time highs? Let's talk about it. Get a pop overnight, but it's fading a little bit. Not too keen on the overnight pattern for Nvidia actually. So let's talk about it and see what we have. I mean, it's all about time frame. Short term, long term. What are you looking at? And we'll talk about it more here in just a minute. Now, the other thing, that breaking news this morning: Subway, the restaurant Subway, with 34,000 international locations, I guess worldwide locations, however you want to put it, struck a deal to sell. They're going to sell Subway. So the family that owns Subway going to sell out. Who are they selling to? We'll talk about that here in just a moment. So, if you didn't know, welcome to the party. Anyway, let me whoop, let me pull up. Trying to click on something and clicked on the wrong thing. Not helpful. No bueno. All right, let me grab that real quick. Let's start with Subway because, well, that's easier to do than talk about charts. So here we go. Subway made a deal to sell, and guess who's buying it? Arby's, Baskin Robbins, Buffalo Wild Wings. It's the Rourke Capital Group right there. They also own Dunkin' Brands, Jimmy John's, and Sonic. So Subway joins a wide variety of restaurants that maybe or maybe not you fancy. I mean, there's a few of those I've been to, a few of those that I haven't been to in a long time, and at least one like Jimmy John's. I haven't been there ever. I don't think there is a Jimmy John's here, but I have never been there. I hear they make fast sandwiches, but not necessarily good sandwiches. So Arby's, I mean, I ate a roast beef sandwich, beef and cheddar. That's a delicious thing. Baskin Robbins have not been there in years. Buffalo Wild Wings, I mean, sometimes that's the place you can go to get wings, but the restaurant not necessarily awesome. Dunkin' Brands haven't been there since a long time. And then Sonic, hey, fresh fruit slush, pretty good, pretty darn good. You know, some people swear by their cherry limeade. I actually like Firehouse Subs cherry limeade better. So, hey, Kimberly is in the house. So, anyway, that Subway restaurants are going to join the Rourke Capital Group. Arby's, Baskin Robbins, Buffalo Wild Wings, Dunkin' Brands, Jimmy John's, and Sonic. So, right there. The deal is all but done, and I think it's $9.6 billion right there. Subway had valued themselves with a $10 billion valuation, and settled for $9.6 billion. So that's a bunch of money flying around, and it's all private capital, so can't really invest there. Anyway, let's get back to things we can, and we should start with the disclaimer. So all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get another thing right, ever. This presentation, though, is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. Hope you have fun. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything, financial instrument or otherwise. And if you want to chat with me while we're on the live stream, you got to be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button right over here, and right down where the monster can is, and you can be a subscriber and chat with me while we're on the live stream. If you desire personal financial advice, though, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor with a fiduciary duty to take care of you. Now, if you're tuning in after I'm no longer live, you'll have to leave a comment down below while you're going down below, you might as well expand the description. Hit the link. $5 gets you in Discord. For those that support me and my family, I support you with more of my time. And Discord is where it's at. So you also get some other stuff. My favorite indicator, you get a weekly watch list for several weeks. And if you want to upgrade to a full year, it's like $19 more. All right, S&P 500. I flashed this up to begin with. And guess what? We broke out of the orange box. That gives us like a 70, maybe 75% chance that we're going to come right up to this box straight away with no pullbacks hardly. Just a fast rally right back up here into the zone. Let me zoom it up a little more. Now, yesterday morning, I was talking about if we break out of the top of this, we're probably coming right up here. It's like a 70, maybe 75% chance that we're just going to go straight up there like this. Now, do we turn down? Do we find resistance? That's the question. That's the big test. This box right here is the big test. We could just rally right to here. That'd be a bummer. We could rally up to here. Also be a bummer if we stop there and turn down. Or we could break out. If we break out of that box, probably headed up here to about 46.50. So that's definitely a zone to watch. The prices on the box, roughly 44.80 at the bottom, roughly 44.45, 45.45, excuse me, 45.45 at the top. And that's the box. And there's a 30% chance that, 30, 35, maybe, well, 25, 30% chance that we just fail here and go on down to the roadmap line. All right. That's kind of the outlook. I think it's high probability that we see this rally right here. I had added probably more ES spreads than I should have. And I took 2 off last night on the pop, booking a couple grand and looking for this thing to pop on up. Riding 2 more. And all those green light income trades that we have on may start closing out on this rally. So watch out for that. If you're in one of those services. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, click the link in the description. Come join us. It's like $5. You can find out more stuff, more about more of the things I pay attention to and do. And looking at this chart won't start moving for about 5 more minutes. That's why we look at the futures chart right here. Futures chart looking a little weak after the pop on Nvidia last night. Let's zoom this up just a tad. We are well above the 30-minute. I said yesterday, if we can break above, we're going to go on some extensions. We are well above the hourly. We may, there's a chance we come back and test that, and then go higher. That's just looking at the futures, all right? We're not talking S&P 500 chart. We're talking futures. In the S&P 500 chart I started with was the daily closes. So this is all the intraday action. We can see an intraday retrace and then a pop, and that puts the daily close chart right here at a move higher. So just keep in mind different time frames. Like I started out saying, time frames. It's all about time frames. We'll get into Nvidia here in just a minute. I want to talk about big picture, then we'll kind of cycle down into Nvidia. Now, S5FI, I have to pop back out to the daily and potential reversing. I had drawn that arrow over there. Who knows? 2 weeks ago? Week ago? I don't remember. Drew that arrow right down to here. We almost reversing right at the bottom of that. And we break back out. We can rally very strongly back up near the top here. So this is a reversal zone that I drew on here. And I didn't think we'd get down to 20. There is the possibility that we rally back up to around 50. This is the percent of S&P 500 stocks above their moving day average, the 50-day moving average. We could rally back up to 50 and roll back down one more time if we're going to do the bearish thing. But we do typically bounce in this area, and we can go right back up to the top. That's entirely possible if we're going to be super bullish. So we were in the zone for reversal, not necessarily a strong reversal. Strong reversal would be down below 20. But we were in the reversal zone nonetheless, and we can see continued strength and rally. All right. Be prepared for it. Don't listen to everybody talking about overly bearish stuff. There's a lot of bearish news. Got a lot of people really bearish, thinking we're going to burn it all down. You know, there's the chance that we do, but I think the market is the most efficient at taking the most amount of money from the most number of people at one time, at one go, that it possibly can, and frustrating everybody in the process. So watch out for this thing. All right. This thing can rip higher and then rip lower once again. NQ, NASDAQ futures right here. Let's jump back down to the smaller time frames and look at the overnight. Nice, beautiful move. I thought we might see this yesterday when we were holding above that roadmap line in the pre-market, or holding it, holding right in there. I guess we were holding above the 30-minute and we were holding the 1 hour. Beautiful move. This could be a little played out right now. You notice we stalled at the 1618, and then Nvidia earnings took us on up to the 2618. This may need a retrace, okay? We may need to come back down just a little bit. We may. It doesn't have to happen. We could just consolidate. We consolidated almost all night. Could just consolidate a little more and pop again. But this looks like it probably wants to pull back again before we go higher. All right, QQQ is how you would trade this, and any of the QQQ derivatives. Russell, looking a little more bearish still. This is not participating on a way. There's no overnight gap for opening bell alerts. If that's a system you're subscribed to, it smeared it up overnight. So not really paying attention to that one this morning. And this is corrective and nasty, and probably indicating we're going to see lower prices on Russell. That's IWM, if you're wondering. These are the futures for IWM. That's looking like resistance at the roadmap line, and we may see that extension down to this zone right down here. This orange box and this target circle that I drew on there, I don't even remember how long ago. So don't be surprised if small caps do that. Another final flush out here. All right. Now, if we get back above 1930, that's probably the first aggressive indication we're going on up. And then really we need to be back above 1950, 1955, 1960 area right in here. And that's going to tip the scales to go into 21, possibly 2200 on Russell. That's a pretty big move up. So opportunity to make some money on that if it happens. I would not buy the falling knife now. There's Nvidia hitting red alerts. We'll circle over that since the market just opened. Let's actually pull up the 15-minute and talk about why I'm a little bit bearish. Look at this. We popped last night, came up lower high. This indicates that we may see a deeper retrace after the open here. I am long some NVDS. Looks like we may come right back to the 15-minute roadmap line, if not retrace that whole pop. And we could go bearish. Be careful, all right? This is going to be liquidation. Lots of people made lots of money. Sell, sell, sell. If you went long, watch out for the drop. This can cascade into something worse. Look, we're already doing it. Already coming to the target. Target probably 484. If we're gonna bounce, could just bounce off of that red line. That would be classic. Be careful. This can push right back down to the roadmap line. That was beautiful bearish pattern right there. And now we got to see what happens. Do we get continuation, or does it retrace this first move and get a bigger move down? Be careful. Be careful. This may retrace a bunch of stuff in the market. All right, circling back, hitting the other things. Oh, excuse me. Hope you didn't hear that crazy burp. Anyway, oil came up just shy of the roadmap line yesterday on the daily. Just shy. Look at that. So close. May get one more test, but that could be it. That may be all we get as far as the test. That's a little bit of volatility, actually. Looking at the 30-minute here. Saw some volatility. We came down in that zone. We reversed sharply, made a lower high. That kind of indicates that we're probably going to see a lower low on down further into the roadmap line on that daily chart. All the time frames support each other. That's not a bullish thing holding under the 30-minute roadmap line. That can push down into the daily roadmap line. GC is looking like it's trying. It's trying to break above. Saw a nice move on silver and gold yesterday. And we may retrace after those power moves up there. May retrace a little bit, consolidate before we can get, moves like this take a lot of energy out of the market. Then we have to consolidate, and then we can try and break out, or we fail. Let's be honest. That's why you get ripped. Market takes a lot of energy. Bitcoin was rallying strongly into the close, but not really getting, not even, it's just staying inside like that. Even though it was crazy bullish, everybody's like, JT, are you seeing this move on Bitcoin? It was an inside candle. Inside from Friday. Still inside. And not a breakout at all. So it didn't really get me excited one bit. Ethereum also still an inside candle. And just not getting there yet. We could see one more flush lower. Be careful. DXY on the daily. Still churning the zone, trying to break out. Can it break out? If it does, we're going up here. If it breaks above that, we're going on up. Now, Nvidia, circling back. Be careful, all right? This could be the last hurrah, and we may see a big outsized retrace. I'm still cautious. I'm super cautious, all right? I know some people probably, if you were betting long on earnings, you made some money, close your freaking trade. Book the profits. It's not profit if you watch it all evaporate and Nvidia drops. All right. Go book it now. TMO. Looking like choppy, nasty bullcrap. And this is the wrong list, I think. Yeah, there we go. SMCI. Popping on Nvidia, but that's resistance. I mentioned that was resistance. Right there, resistance. That's a setup for the third leg down. This is just like that Nvidia pattern I showed a minute ago. You go here, here, right there. The target is right there at the bottom of the oval. Right down here. Right down in this zone. Whoop, arrow goes the other way. Right down in here. We may see price do that right there. Would not surprise me one single bit to see that happen on SMCI. AVGO, nice pop. Beautiful pop. Still under resistance. Nothing to do until we can break out. ADSK, just chopping. It's a nice pop, but it didn't go anywhere. It's just, it keeps popping. It looks like, look at all those gaps. Just why do you want to mess with something like that? Don't trade that crap. Like, that crap is unreliable. That's higher lows. That's lower highs. That's just a squeeze. At some point, it's going to break out and actually move, but it's going to keep farting around in this area until such time. SPLK, working on it. Still got resistance right here. It's working on it. It might be a breakout. That one might be a mover. It's definitely lagging. Lagging the rest of big tech. This one, started its descent in 2020, unlike the rest of big tech that topped out in 2021, early 22, and then went down. This one started its journey down almost a year early. And it's got some work to do. It's got several highs in here. Significant highs where it came up to and sold off. Came up to and sold off. Came up to and sold off. Came up. Oh, we haven't come up yet. So watch for this one to start turning the tides. Probably break above. Retrace back to the roadmap line. Like it did right there. Pop above. That next move up potentially comes in. Yeah, right at that resistance. Possibly 120. And then another retrace. More than likely. All right. MDB. probably wants to get another leg down to the roadmap line, but we could hold this gap. You see the top, what was the top of the gap over there? Hold that gap and break out, possibly through the highs. Potential for that one to run. FNGU, yeah, bounce keeps working on the bounce. That's beautiful. Now it could get another leg down. Be careful. We came up in the vicinity of somewhere where we could go down one more leg. That could look like this area right here. It could. Let's do the split. Yeah. I think this one had a split pending, but nope. Don't see it. So maybe not that one. I get so confused on all my leveraged things here. NVDA, nice pop. Watch for the drop. I bought a few shares, like 11. NVDS down $3. Well, $2 now. Down $2. And $2.25, I guess. I got filled at 36. Watch for that one to pop if Nvidia actually goes on a bigger retrace. I'm going to kind of hold on to it and see what direction Nvidia settles at for the day. If we settle on breaking back higher, I'll probably close it out for a loss. If we settle on going down, I'll probably hold on and see how far down we can go. The expectations were wicked high, and what does the market actually think Nvidia is going to do? We're going to be the richest company in the world? I don't know. SOXX, looking like we could see a third leg down there. First move down, retrace. This is kind of, we're seeing a bunch of this pattern right here. 1, 2, 3. SOXL, 1, 2. Could get the third move down also. How far down would that go? Right in this zone, around back down to like 16, 17. Right in that zone, right there. Nice and crooked. ADBE, still working on the breakouts. Can't do it. Has not been able to break out yet. If we can go on a breakout on, breakout in the market, like I started out talking about, we can see much higher prices on Adobe. ANET. Nice, pushing up into target 196, possibly 207 above that. Microsoft could be close enough. Watch out for resistance right here. Apple was getting a big pop also. A big pop relative. Does have resistance right up in here. So watch for a move. Watch for resistance at 188. That could turn down and go lower again. I'm going to be watching my shares closely. I may liquidate one more time and buy them back if we're going to go a third leg down. This may look like this, and we could see, you could, potentially get a shot at like 163 on Apple, maybe even 160. If we turn down off that zone up there at 188. All right. Golly, what the? I don't know if you heard my stomach just then, but that was crazy sound. Sounds like the end of the world or something. WDay, I guess the pineapple monster not fighting back with whatever I ate for dinner last night or something. Anyway, workday, chopping in the box, nothing to do. Meta, little pop, but probably on a path. It's probably going to chop right back down to the roadmap line at some point in the future here, maybe out next month. I think that was significant resistance, and we didn't really pull back this whole trip up. Like, we got a little baby pullback in there, but we didn't really pull back. We didn't really recharge at all. We just took one big monster grind higher. It's going to take a break, more than likely. Probably chop in here. May chop sideways until earnings, the next earnings. HKIT, that's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous chart. Ridiculous. Nary a pullback. Be careful. We could pop out. Let's do one more level. One more level. Oh. Which template is this? It's my JT template. Let's go with, there we go. Could pop out to 51. Wouldn't expect a lot more than that. Snow, just chopping. Chopping. That's kind of bearish right there. If we hold the roadmap line there, we could retrace down to 100. If we can break above this crap, we can turn the tides. SMH, of course, going the way Nvidia goes. If we're getting a retrace on Nvidia, that's the way that's going to go. Look at that, back to 488. Be careful. We may retrace that whole gap up. 484 was the fib if we're going to hold it. Otherwise, we can work that into something bigger. Be careful. GES. Guess. Retail haves and have-nots. This one apparently is a have and has resistance at 24. Well, looks more like an in-between. It's not really breaking out, not really breaking down. It's just an in-between. Bulls. Nice, right up into resistance. Be careful, that can turn down. Need to be above there to go for extensions. If we turn down in the orange box, watch out, we can do a third leg down. JT, what do you mean? Could be something down to 50. TMV. Right to the bottom. Oh, there's the one that's splitting. That's going to be the one I was thinking of. Not FNGU, it's TMV. That's the one I was thinking of. That one, it did the retrace. It can go on the extension. And when it divides four for one, divide this price by 4. And you can buy more shares, but it's the same thing, basically. It'll mess up all my drawings and patterns. But Tesla, a little bit of retrace on the news that they're going to produce less cars in Germany. If you think that's what's making it move, I think that was an initial pop. We needed a consolidation, and then we need continuation. So if you're not long, you may want to wait for a breakout above here. We do have significant resistance on above us. I mentioned that. That's why I've got an orange box up there. This is, I took the aggressive entry. The more conservative entry is going to be up here in the 265, 270 area. Looking for the move on up to possibly 350. But aggressive entries are aggressive. We can turn down and go lower low. We didn't fully test all the way to the bottom here at 208, 209 area. We could go flush it out one more time before we get the move. Or if this is it and we're actually bearish, we're going to break down below 208 and then retrace deeper. Baidu, back up to the roadmap line. We'll see what happens. This is just a choppy hot mess at this point. Choppy hot mess of China news. DLTR, Dollar Tree, getting slammed on margins. The margins are eroding. That was breaking out of the, this is classic right here. Broke down, retraced back to the box, and we go on an extension. That extension, how low can she go? Getting close, but probably this pink box. 117. Now it can extend even further. Entirely possible. Could see it go down to 113, possibly 96, but the pink box probably offer some support at this point. Probably. BA. Boeing. Probably retrace back to the roadmap line at 210. You got that. I got that 225 target from back here in the retrace we did back in May. We hit all the targets, hit the extension at 234. Beautiful. Found resistance and retrace. Right now, holding the top where we broke out from. If we can hold that, we could go on an extension again. But it becomes kind of likely that we're going to retrace on deeper. So there's the line. We get below that line on a daily close, we're probably coming on down to the roadmap line. More than likely. EL, Estee Lauder. Retail haves and have-nots. That one's on a path. Heading on down. Probably 126. AMC. Probably going to go out of business. Reverse split. Reverse splits are bearish. They're almost never bullish. I mean, maybe one out of 100, maybe. Reverse splits turn something around, but usually reverse splits are pretty bearish. If you want to short something, I mean, it's risky because that can just announce they're bankrupt, and that's pretty bad, and probably went out of business. They closed all the theaters here in Knoxville. I don't know how you build a business closing theaters, but whatever. VinFast still going crazy, exponential up. Oh, it did a market roadmap retrace in there. And resistance at 56, possibly 73, and then probably do another retrace. This thing's going to come, more than likely going to come all the way back down at one point or another when this thing finally comes back to reality. DG hit on the sympathy of Dollar Tree and getting crushed. I don't even think Dollar Tree's earnings were bad. Beating on the top, beating on the bottom, but their margins, that was the news. The headline I saw before I went live was the margins on Dollar Tree are eroding at a epic pace because of inflation. The cost of goods, the PPI, producer price index, the cost to produce goods that cost $1 are eating their margins, and they may have to raise prices, and then raising prices, that's not, I mean, they already raised them to like $1.25 or whatever. And it's not even really a dollar store anymore, and tough to do business like that. You base your whole business plan around being able to sell things for $1, and then inflation eats your lunch. Yeah, this just continues the march higher on weight loss drugs. Eventually, it's going to retrace again. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. Kind of like Lilly, just keeps marching. That's the hype right now. If you want to, there are billions of dollars flowing into these two for weight loss drugs, and unless we get a lawsuit, that's something to watch out for. If reports start coming out that there's a problem with the A1C drugs, the Majoran, the whatever they're all called, that's going to crush these stocks right here. So that's something to keep an eye on. If somebody starts reporting problems, you could go long-term puts or long-term inverse synthetic. So just keep an eye on that. If otherwise, these things are just going to keep printing money. Let's be honest. There's a lot of overweight people that can't control their impulses, and these things control your appetite. The average person loses tons of weight. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago about how the average person who gets on this is eating upwards of 3,500 calories a day. Average person, I think it's 3,250. That's men and women combined. And they reduce their calorie intake daily down drastically, like 1,200 calories a day. The average person does. And then, think about it. A pound of fat is like 3,500 calories. So you reduce 1,200 calories a day. It doesn't take many days to start pulling pounds off you. So that's the whole premise there. SPR, that looks pretty bad. Looks pretty bad. Spirit. I mean, discount airline probably going down to 17. Losing buttloads of money. Can't run a business losing money in a raising rate environment. Money's not cheap right now. Can't do things the way you used to. 17 and 11 below that. There you go. All right, bias for the day. Extremely cautiously bullish. We may get a retrace off of that pop yesterday before the next move higher. 70% likely that we continue this path on up into the zone. 70 to 70, possibly 75% likely. That's kind of my roll the dice, play the odds. I'm kind of long looking for this pop, and that's my bias. So hope you have a great day. If you want to keep chatting with me, like I said, links in the description. For those that support me and my family, I support you with more of my time. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. So make sure you hit the bell with the new dads. Hit the bell, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Have a great day. Yeah, smash that like button. Share with all your friends.